Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be discussing the possibility of another snow event for the I-95 corridor and parts of the East Coast coming up in the beginning of next week. Now, if you haven't done so, please consider subscribing to my channel if you like weather related content like this. So let's get into the video. As you could see, this is around Friday night, and there is a low pressure system located over the Great Lakes, and it will move into the northeast eventually, bringing light rain and light snow, light rain to the coast and light snow inland. So this should be basically a nuisance. This would be Friday into Friday night, but that's basically a nuisance. Then it brings in cold air behind it, and another storm system starts developing now. If you take a look a few runs back, it didn't have these two systems were separate, one over the Central Plains and another one over the Gulf of Mexico. They had it separate. This was the run that came out last night. This is today's run. You could see they phase much earlier. It's called phasing. When two branches of the jet stream come together, that is called phasing, and this is what the models have these two systems doing. And as long as they phase, you're going to get a big snowstorm out of it somewhere. So you move up further and you see a coastal low forming off the southeast coast, and snow develops. This snow, the GFS model has the snow around Saturday night over North Carolina, Virginia, stretching back to Tennessee and western parts of Missouri. So this is the GFS model. The models for this first storm that's 60 hours out, the models have very huge differences. Some models have the storm not phasing at all and just going out to sea harmlessly, while some models, such as I'm about to show you, the NAM, has the storm coming up the coast, and the NAM model drops a lot of snow over the I-95 cities. So if you're a snow lover, you should probably root for the NAM. You move up and the snow starts to fall in New York City, Philadelphia, and it's been snowing already in Washington. This is the type of storm if the scenario plays out for I-95. You move up, the low continues to strengthen rapidly off the coast, and it's heavy snow from New York City to Boston. This is the type of storm that could drop feet of snow onto the northeast cities. The only thing that's preventing it from doing that is the pace. This is a 6-hour difference. This is Sunday at 7 in the morning. This is Sunday at 2 p.m. from 7 to 2. That's pretty fast. Just the speed at which the storm is moving is pretty fast. And then you look behind the storm, Arctic air comes in. So if any substantial snow falls in any of the cities or anywhere from the storm, if it drops snow, it will freeze over with very cold weather coming behind the storm. So let's take a look at the ICOM model. I usually don't look at the ICOM model in my videos, but just because I just want to show you all the models here, because there is a lot of disagreement. The ICOM model, the NAM model, and the GFS model have the best agreement. Those three models are the ones that agree the most, with the NAM being the most aggressive. The ICOM model shows, just like before, this little nuisance storm coming tomorrow. I wouldn't even call it a storm. It's just a cold front coming in, with the storm still being over the Great Lakes. The cold front from the storm, it brings in some cold air behind it, and you could see the NAM model too. Look at this recent trend. The NAM model. This was last night. Storm over the plains, storm over Florida. Now compare this to today, to now. Much closer together, and they phase together much earlier, and that's what produces this coastal snowstorm. If they phase like forecast early, this could be the difference between a weak system cruising out to sea and a sunny Super Bowl weekend for the Northeast, or a very snowy Super Bowl weekend for the Northeast. So if depending on when they phase, this is going to depend on what type of weather you get this upcoming Sunday for the Northeast. You move further, and this NAM model actually shows a heavy snow band setting up from parts of Rhode Island into most south eastern Connecticut into Long Island and in New York City. This would drop a lot of snow. Let me zoom into the Northeast and let's check out the snow totals with the NAM. The NAM model depicts 3 to 5 inches for New York City, 5 to 8 inches for northern Maryland and Pennsylvania. I don't know why the snow totals are so low. This would be from 15Z. That is around 10 a.m. From 10 a.m. Between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. heavy snow bands with the temperature. Check the temperatures here. Let me just check the temperature profile over here. Let's check New York City. Let's go to temperature meter shading, and you could see well below freezing. It goes a little bit above freezing for the southern boroughs for probably an hour or two, but above freezing, I'm talking about like 33 degrees, 34 degrees, not that far above freezing, and then it goes back below freezing. So if this storm plays out like the icon model is showing it, that could mean a lot of snow for coastal areas. Now let's move on to the NAM. This is the aggressive one. Can move along. You see the first. I'm gonna zoom into the Northeast here because this is what the storm is based on. You could see the NAM model brings in some leading snow showers into parts of the Northeast, and then a cold front comes through, rain for the coast, light snow inland. That moves through, and then you could start seeing on the left snow forming over the Appalachian Mountains. That is the storm system. It finally starts in coastal areas, and the NAM model, compared to the last run, is slower further west. And you could see last run a piece over the northern plains and a piece over the Carolinas. Those are the two storms. Compared to this run, they're much closer together. And this is the difference. This run shows the storm moving slower and it's stronger. 988, more elongated, more to the east. And this run, very heavy. If you live in Long Island, New York City, if the NAM plays out, you're going to get another huge snowstorm. We just got slammed here in New York City by Orlena, which just hit like a few days ago. There's still huge piles of snow here. And people are still digging out. If this scenario plays out like the NAM is showing, that would be another 9 to 11 inches. As a matter of fact, let's check out the snow totals here. You can see the NAM brings a trail of, wow, even 15, 16 inches for parts of Virginia. That would be a good storm. If you're a snow lover, you should really root for the NAM. New York City, I even see a little bit of blue there. Let's look at the key, 14 inches. So parts of Manhattan would get 14 inches of snow if the NAM played out. Brooklyn seems to be on the lower side with 8 inches of snow. Queens, it looks like the NAM model is depicting 8 to 15 inches of snow in New York City, but that's definitely going to change. There is no way that this model will be 100% correct. There's going to be changes, and I will be making a video on the storm very shortly, probably on Saturday. Right now it is Thursday, so 2 days from now I'm probably going to be making another video on the storm. Even if the storm is a bust, I'll still be making a video letting you all know that. Let's move on to the RGEM model, and this is a higher resolution of the Canadian model. It's just like the other model, showing the cold front come through, and this is one of the models that keeps the storm weaker and further south because of the delayed phasing. So let's zoom out a little. Let's go back before, let it load for a little bit. Sorry for this, it's just loading. Go back here. You could see this is 54 hours out. Let's just go back a little more. This is 48 hours out on the RGEM model. Now let's check, let's say, the icon model. Let's go back here. So let's go 48 hours out on the icon model. And you could see the icon model Now this part is not really about phasing. This part is look at the strength of the system coming from the plains. The Icon model has a 1009 1010 millibar low pressure system over Texas. The RGEM model has a much less robust system with blues over the plains. So this would be a really the RGEM model is really just gives us a little graze passing by, and that's it. So now let's check the AO. This is the part of the video that the AO and this is going to be the future teleconnections. So man, if this occurs, this is a very negative AO. This is showing -5, -4 degrees below the average. So this would mean the polar vortex is going to break off, and a part of the polar vortex will enter the United States, which will cause a lot of cold weather over the next. Let's go back to the GFS model. The storm passes, and then watch this. After the storm passes, there's going to be continuous cold coming down. And then look at this. Look what the GFS model shows. Huge lobe of the polar vortex just comes down from the Arctic into the United States about a week from now. This is what happens when you see the AO go this far negative. So the AO negative is a check for really cold weather. Now you go to the NAO. When the NAO is negative, you get a really active storm track up the coast. And it looks like it will be negative. It doesn't need to be very far negative, just slightly negative is enough. So that's a check for storms. The NAO will be negative, active storm track up the coast, a lot of nor'easters for the next probably like 3 weeks. Now the PNA. The PNA is currently neutral. You need a positive PNA if you want cold in the east. So there's going to be Arctic air coming down. But if the PNA is negative, it's going to come down aiming more towards the west coast. If the PNA is positive, it's going to aim more towards the east coast. And it looks like the PNA will stay a cold neutral. And then watch this, around the 14th, 13th of February, it will go positive. And it should stay positive probably for at least a week after that. And a positive PNA means any cold air that comes from the Arctic will aim more toward the east coast. So that's another check. So 3 checks. The teleconnections are looking very good for cold and snow for the next 3 to 4 weeks, and this could bring a lot of opportunities for snowstorms for the East Coast. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it informational. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.